California was an island. What if I told you California, yes, that California, was once an island? Not as a joke, not as a rumor, but on official maps, trusted by kings. And the wildest part? The mistake started with a fantasy novel. And even when Spain tried to correct the mistake, the rest of the world didn't listen. So was California ever really an island? Let's find out. 99% true, or not. In 1510, Spanish writer García Rodríguez de Montalvo published a wildly popular romance novel called Las Sergas de Esplandian, The Deeds of Esplandian. In it, he described a mythical island called California. It was ruled by Queen Calafia, an Amazon. California was described as an exotic island and defended by fierce warriors. It was pure fantasy, but the name stuck. And once explorers began reporting land far to the west, cartographers connected imagination to geography, and slowly, California drifted away from the mainland. Once it appeared on a respected map, other mapmakers copied it. Mistake after mistake, copy after copy. California wasn't discovered as an island, it was assumed to be one. In 1522, Spanish explorers realized California was attached to North America. Then, in the 1530s, Spanish explorers mistook it for an island, again. In 1539, more Spanish explorers led by Francisco de Ulloa discovered it was actually attached to the mainland, and the Baja was a peninsula. Then, for some reason, in 1622, California was back to being an island on maps as Europe was racing to map the world. Ships returned with stories, partial coastlines, and a lot of guesswork. And somewhere in that chaos, California broke off, again. Early explorers, including Hernán Cortés, never fully mapped the western coastline of North America, so mapmakers filled in the blanks. And sometimes, those blanks were filled with imagination, vibes, rumors, and second-hand sailor gossip. They didn't sail all the way around it, they didn't walk the land route. They didn't discover California was an island. They assumed it was. California appeared as an island on maps across Europe. England copied France, France copied Spain, and Spain copied Spain. Once California became an island on paper, it refused to come back. This wasn't ignorance, this was authority bias. If a respected map showed an island, you didn't question it. You copied it. Father Eusebio Kino, traveling between 1698 and 1701, proved California was connected to the mainland. In 1705, he published a map titled A Passage by Land to California. The mystery was solved and the island was dead, or, it should have been. European maps kept showing California as an island for decades after the truth was known. Spain now had a problem. The truth was known, but the world's maps were still wrong. So the King of Spain, Ferdinand VI, stepped in. He was tired of all the misinformation, and spread the news that California was not an island. But, Japan was slow to get this news, and continued to show California as an island as late as 1865. He ordered official maps corrected, and California was to be redrawn to be attached to the mainland. When a king tells you to redraw the world, you redraw the world. Europe complied, but not everyone got the memo. Some parts of the world were still working from older European maps, especially Japan. During Japan's period of isolation, Western knowledge came in slowly, often second-hand, through Dutch traders. So while Europe corrected California, Japanese maps continued to show it as an island. It took another half-century for California to reattach itself to North America on maps. California didn't stop being an island, people just finally stopped pretending it was. Even after Spain issued corrections, even after explorers proved the truth, the island of California survived on paper. Because once misinformation spreads, it doesn't vanish, it lingers. For over 100 years, California floated in oceans that never existed. So, was California an island? Scientifically? No, it never was. Historically? For generations, the world believed it was. California wasn't an island in reality, but it absolutely was one on maps. Which makes this story 99% true. If a fantasy novel can reshape the world's maps for 100 years, what do you think we believe today, that future historians will laugh at?